Well, Matt Flynn has been traded. His Seahawks career has come and gone. His meteoric rise and fall can all be chronicled. Actually, Matt Flynn will always wind up being it feels like we never knew. I mean, we never knew. He came in here to be the starting quarterback, was paid as such, didn't wind up winning the job, as we pointed out, not because he was terrible in training camp or anything like that. He wasn't. It looked like he kind of did everything he had to do. But Russell Wilson took the job, despite not being great at the start of the year. Kept the job all year. By the end of the year, man, he was great. And for Matt Flynn, who wants to be a starter in this league, I think it was pretty clear to him anyway that was not going to happen in Seattle.
Boy, aren't we all going to watch his career from afar in Oakland, we assume, and just see how good he becomes? I mean, to me, it's just the ultimate, boy, I wonder what he would have been. Because you don't know. There is no track record attached to him other than the two games. He had one game against Detroit where he threw for 6 touchdowns, set records for the Packers, another great game against the Patriots, and then everything else has been preseason. And we heard rave reviews from Rich Gannon when it was rumored he was coming here, a guy who watched him every training camp. And, so there was so much promise attached to what he could possibly be going through that quarterback system in Green Bay, and you never really got to see it here in Seattle, obviously. So I get the sense a lot of people will be kind of watching to see, all right, what would he have been? And I don't know if Oakland's going to be a fair place to judge that because they're not a good team. They don't have a lot to work with. So he may be a victim of circumstance out there running for his life. We'll see what happens.
It's a good point. It kind of speaks to the fact that one of the real things that was attractive about the Seattle job, maybe unknown going in because they were off 7 and 9 seasons, but you kind of had an idea of all that young talent. The team was about to be good. And no, Flynn's not going to have that opportunity in Oakland if he winds up starting there, which I think everyone thinks that he will. They're not that good, and they're not going to become good overnight there. I think the one thing that makes this different, you pointed this out too, a lot of times you look at trades sometimes and you judge it on how the other guy does.
Right.
And you like the trade, you don't like the trade because the other guy does well. I think in honesty, if Seahawks fans are honest with themselves, if Matt Flynn leaves here, becomes a multi-Pro Bowl caliber quarterback for the Raiders, I don't think anyone's going to be upset. And I think that's because I don't believe that anyone thinks that Russell Wilson's a bad choice to make, which is the one they've obviously made here.
No, I mean, that'd be...
We can wish this guy well, period.
Yeah,
right?
I want him to do well. He seems like a good enough guy. We didn't talk to him a bunch, but, as long as Russell Wilson keeps on the track that he's on, then you're right. Whatever Matt Flynn does is what he does.
Good for him.
I don't wish anything bad for him, so you hope he has success. Again, I don't know if that's possible in Oakland, but, as long as Russell Wilson continues to succeed and excel the way he did from the middle of the season on through, then everybody should be at peace with it. The only way people will look back on this is if Matt Flynn becomes a star, Russell gets hurt, and we have whoever, name your quarterback, Tyler Thigpen or Brady Quinn or Colt McCoy, and they come in and blow a bunch of games and look terrible, then people are going to go, oh, we could have had this guy.
Well, even more so than that, if he let's say Russell Wilson, man, this is hard to even think rather than say, was a flash in the pan and is not the quarterback that he appeared to be. I mean, in that sense, you can regret it. Otherwise, enjoy the Raiders, Matt.